Hi, everyone. We just finished meeting for pronunciation practice on Tuesday, May 23rd. And we started with a couple words we didn't get finished on Monday. So, question. You do have to hear the S and the ch. Question. So, think of chin. Question. And language. You do have to round your lips. It doesn't look like it with the Guage, but it does sound like Gwij, gwidge, language. So you do have to stop the airflow. My note over here, that should be air flow for the j. Um, but then when you finish your J sound, your tongue comes down a little bit and air goes over that between the top of your tongue and the roof of your mouth. And that's what makes the zh kind of noise. And that's what will help avoid an extra sound. If you say language, you're making a vowel sound after you release the tongue. So to avoid that, think of it as I'm going to put a little note here that it's kind of like a zh at the end language. So when you finish, you should only be making noise, not language or language. Just keep doing the for practice, language, and then shorten your language, language, language. That's it language. So listen, record yourself, listen carefully to notice if you're making an extra sound after that. Great. If you just say the word great, it'll sound like gray because the T won't be heard. You'll hold the T position. Like, oh, that's great. If the next word begins with a T or a D, you also won't hear it because that's going to the same position. Great day. Great day. If it's a vowel after it, now you will hear the connection. That's a great idea. Great idea. The T is connecting to the I. It's between two voiced sounds, so it changes to a D. Great idea. That's a great idea. The word south by itself has the vowel ow, like you hit yourself. Ow! South. 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 But when it's the adjective, it changes to southern. And the vowel is like up, southern. And the TH is voiced, so I made it bold to remind you to use voicing thern. And it is a lot of movement. You really are moving from, let me see, make sure you can see me. The tongue is between the teeth, there for the R, and then up for the N. Southern, thern. And don't let the tongue touch the top of the mouth like thr. Pull it down more before you curl it back. Southern and northern. Oh, my t-shirt is ad astra per aspera. um, northern, the same thern at the end, but with northern. Autumn. The T is between two voiced sounds, the vowels, so it'll change to a D. Autumn. This is the same meaning as fall, and most Americans use fall more than autumn. Adam as a guy's name, and also atom with a T. The T changes to a D, and it sounds like Adam. So number 8, autumn. The lips are straight, ah. And number 9, ah. They're back, Adam. Idiosyncrasy. You can say idio or idia because it's not stressed. Idiosyncrasy. Oh, I have this note here. If the word is atomic, the T is still between two vowels, two voiced sounds, but it does not change to D because it is in the stressed syllable, atomic. So remember, the T can only change to a D if it's between two voiced sounds and it's in the unstressed syllable. That's it. Strenuous. I'm watching my accent very carefully, so I say stren. The vowel is e, like head. Strenuous. Maneuver. Hindrance. It looks like drance, but we say drince or drunce because it's not stressed. Hindrance. And I spelled it with a T because it really does sound like a T, but the T is invisible and happening just accidentally when you go from the N to the S. So the word prince, like prince and princess, and prints, like photos, will sound exactly the same. Prince, prince. So it's happening when your tongue is going up for the N. Print, get in there. Print. When you release the tongue from the top of the mouth, the airflow comes out and it bursts and it sounds like a tiny T. Prince. It's just unavoidable and accidental. But when I learned about this in grad school, that this is actually what's physically happening and it sounds like a T, I'm like, oh, that's right. It just kind of blew my mind. I thought that was so cool. And heinous. Hey, all of this HEI sounds like A, and the OUS just sounds like I or heinous, heinous. That's it. Unabashed. You hold the T so you won't hear it. Unabashed. And unabashedly. Unabashedly. And bashful. Bashful. This word that I never use, but means we looked this up because I also had to look up what does it mean exactly. Means the first person to do something that other people follow. Doesn't have to be a person; it could be an event that signals more like that to come. So pioneer was a synonym, leader was a synonym, bellwether, and the th is voiced v, bellwether. Donut with the old spelling, DOUGH, and the more modern spelling that you see all the time, just DO, and they sound exactly the same. Donut. And this T you won't hear, you'll hold it, donut. Unless there's a vowel after it, then the T will change to a D and it will connect. The donut is hot, donut is, donut is. If it's the end, you won't hear it. Hot donut. I really want a donut now. Through. The again the true spelling through and the more modern shortcut spelling through, because you'll see this on signs, drive through signs at the store, because it's easier to fit on the sign. If yours sounds like true, that means your tongue is behind the teeth, and here, true, instead of between the teeth, through. So it does take more physical time through than just true. So it'll be worth it to take the time because it completely changes the sound, which completely changes the meaning from through to true. One. This was an example of, oh, I guess I could put the other, I'll just leave it there. One sounds like it starts with a W because you have to start with rounded lips. One. And one, two, three, loneliness. Loneliness. And this word has two pronunciations, but the exact same meaning. So the more common one is three syllables, mischievous, mischievous. And another way to pronounce it, but less common, is mischievous, mischievous. Achieve, the same sound, achievement. And ponderous, ponderous. Horror. The trick for this one is to hold your tongue in the R position once you make the first R, because you're going to, here's my horror, horror. So hold it in the R position after you make the first R, and then just make another noise. Horror, horror. It's weird sounding. Misapprehension, misapprehension. Waterfall. The T changes to a D and the stress is on the first syllable, waterfall. Very similar to wonderful. The vowel is one. Wonderful. What a wonderful waterfall. And then we had police, police, and policy, and privacy, and politics. A lot of these, I think, are hard to remember the pronunciation because it looks like an O, but it sounds like an police. Looks like an O, but it sounds like an policy. Politics. And I realized yesterday I forgot to go back through and say them without talking. So I'll do that today. Question, language, great, south, southern, northern, autumn, atom, and atomic. Idiosyncrasy, strenuous, maneuver, hindrance, heinous, unabashed, unabashedly, bashful, bellwether, donut, through, one, loneliness, mischievous, mischievous, achieve, achievement, ponderous, horror, misapprehension, waterfall, wonderful, police, policy, privacy, politics. There. Sorry, I forgot to do that yesterday. I hope it was helpful today. And if you can join us next week, that will be great. If not, I hope the videos are helpful. And if they are, I hope you share it with a friend. Thanks. Have a good day.